Good morning. I am Gerhard Mathangani with today's Sports Brief. It has been a very busy week across the sports landscape. We will start with Alabama, who will open up Bryant-Denny Stadium for the first time this season on Saturday. The Tide coming off a big win over Missouri and will look to build on their positives against Jimbo Fisher and Texas A&M. The Aggies are also 1-0 after a game on Saturday against Vanderbilt. Head coach Nick Saban says the Aggies will present another strong challenge.
They got really good players. They've got 7 or 8 starters back on defense, and their defense was ranked last year, played very well last week against Vanderbilt and only given up 12 points. So this is going to be a much more challenging game for us. It's a good all-around team. They play well on special teams. They've got good specialists. So it's going to be necessary for us to make a significant amount of improvement and play for 60 minutes in this game because of the type of team we're playing.
The offense was the story in the Tide's win in the opener. Alabama racked up more than 400 yards of offense, and receiver Jalen Waddle had a huge game with over 130 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Well, I think that they gave us a spark in the offense and created a big play, got us a great field position. And as far as Mac a very tough guy, so I really expect him to stay in there and take a little pounding to deliver a good ball.
When Jalen Waddle gets the ball and he's in open space, you know, everybody on the sideline starts to pay attention. I mean, because it's the fastest dude I've ever seen. There's times he leaves me in practice and there's nothing I could do about it. I even take an angle and he just takes off. But I mean, it's ridiculous, like I said. But we have so many great guys in our offense, and they do this stuff every single day in practice. So whenever it comes to the game, I'm not necessarily surprised. It's more, you know, expected to see those guys do what they do.
The Tide and the Aggies will square off Saturday at 2:30 in Tuscaloosa. Meanwhile, Major League Baseball's playoffs will begin a little bit later this afternoon. After a 60-game regular season, 8 teams in the American League and 8 teams in the National League are ready to start the chase for the World Series crown. The Atlanta Braves are the number 2 seed after posting 35 wins in the regular season and claiming a 3rd straight division championship. The Braves will face 7th seed Cincinnati in the wild card round.
I mean, just 5 years ago you're talking about, and now look at what we've done the last 3 years. You know, I was just telling Ronald in the clubhouse, I was like, man, all you know is winning the division title. That's pretty cool. So, I mean, we've changed the ship and real fast over the last 5 years. You know, when 2015, 2016 was a little better, 2017 was a little better, and then 2018 was amazing. You know, that just to turn it around like we did, and you know, to three-peat is really hard, and you know. When you take a step back and you're like, oh yeah, they won 14 division titles back in the day. That, you know, that's pretty hard to do. And then as you're in it, and we've only done it 3 times. I mean, that's pretty incredible what they accomplished. And I mean, I think the Dodgers are going for like their 7th or 8th. It's pretty amazing. It's hard, and for us to do it in such a quick turnaround. I mean, just talking about 5 years ago, it's just a good group of guys we got here.
This potent Braves offense will face a very confident Cincinnati Reds pitching staff led by Trevor Bauer. He will take the mound for Game 1.
It's a playoff series, so like, regardless if the lineup was good or bad in the regular season, it's the postseason. Things change. It's kind of a reset. A lot of times, guys that struggle in the regular season, they get off to a bad start, and then they're kind of in their head about their numbers and this and that. But then once the postseason comes along, it's like, oh, none of that matters anymore. We're just trying to play and win the game. So offenses change a little bit. Guys react differently to pressure. Some guys step up. Some guys, you know, kind of shrink from it, whatever. So while you can get a good sense of what an offense is based on their regular season performance, it's different in the postseason.
The Braves and the Reds will begin their series starting at 11 o'clock on Wednesday. Meanwhile, the American League will start their postseason coming up a little bit later today. The Astros and the Twins will start at 1 o'clock. The White Sox and the Oakland A's at 2. Meanwhile, at 4 o'clock, the Toronto Blue Jays and the top-seeded Tampa Bay Rays will start at 1. The New York Yankees and the Cleveland Indians will begin their series at 6 o'clock. They are all best-of-3 series, and all games will be at the higher seeds park. And finally, we have also crowned a champion. Last night, the Tampa Bay Lightning knocked off the Dallas Stars 2-0 in Game 6 to wrap up the Stanley Cup final. The Lightning claimed the series 4-2, and they hoist the Stanley Cup trophy for the 2nd time in their franchise history. Tampa Bay is also the first North American pro team to win a team sports championship since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. And that is your Sports Brief. Our program continues next.